Hello and welcome to Off Chain. My name is Jimmy Song and today is November 15th, 2017. All right, our top story, Bitcoin is recovering quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff going on, obviously. We're hitting $7,200 on Bitstamp. It obviously popped yesterday. It might be related to this news, which is that Square Cash is letting some users buy and sell Bitcoin. This isn't available to absolutely everybody yet, but it is available to some people that have the app. So let's go to Tone. Tone, what do you think this means for the price of Bitcoin? Is this what's affecting the price right now?
I think it's this, and there was also another piece of news saying that like some major like hedge fund was talking about trading the futures once the futures launch. It's just a combination of a couple of things. But yeah, I think the Square news is definitely it. But I'm not really sure what it means. I'm not really familiar with Square. Like I've never used it, so I'm not exactly sure what that means or where they're sourcing the Bitcoin from.
Yeah, I mean, apparently you can buy Bitcoin with cash, with whatever Square Cash is. I haven't really used that.
I have no idea what Square Cash is, right? So I haven't I haven't really looked into that news yet. I mean, I woke up this morning and kind of saw it, but I haven't had a chance to dig into it. I'm more of a technical trader. I mean, if the price is like getting out, so I guess we bottomed. I'm going to talk more about the price. I'm going to do my own show in about an hour, and I'm going to talk more about the technicals. But I'm not sure what Square Cash is. I mean, do we want to Google that? Do we want to look that up?
Oh, so I'm going to download the app later today because apparently, like, if you sign up, you get like $5 worth of Bitcoin or something like that. I just want to see how it works. I mean, it would be great to have some competition for Coinbase in my mind because
I mean, I know what Square is, right? I mean, it's that app that lets you use like credit cards and stuff, right? I mean, I've never used it, but I've seen a lot of, like, for example, the farmers market that I go to, a lot of the people there use Square, to accept payments. But I don't know what Square Cash is. Is it the same thing? Or
no,
is
I think it's more for users. And
no, I know, but is it affiliated, right? Or is it another altcoin that's like trying to piggyback off of the name Square?
I think it's the same company, and they make multiple apps. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to some of the other stuff that's going on. Yeah, so the Bitcoin mempool has been getting higher again, and this, you could see this little bump at the end right here. That's because let's see, we're not, we are scheduled for the 2x hard fork possibly, but largely because we're not finding that many blocks, and you can see, there's been 3 blocks in the last hour. It's coming in kind of slow. You had like 4 blocks in 2 hours over here, and it's been like six per hour or the normal. So it's a little slower than normal, and this is because Bitcoin Cash is going a lot faster. And why is that? Well, it's because Bitcoin Cash is once again more profitable to mine than Bitcoin, and this is due to their hard fork, and this is causing a lot more blocks to be found on Bitcoin Cash as a result. And you can see on fork.lol, the hash rate. Let me refresh. This was last night. You can see, it's starting to rise again. I imagine it'll be much higher later today. But this doesn't, like I said with the Bitcoin Cash, profitability calculation, doesn't take into account fees. So I even if it's 15% more profitable to mine on Bitcoin Cash, it's probably not exactly the case. Just to throw another wrench into it, there's this tweet by Fuji Liu. Bitcoin Cash was maliciously forked at block 504032. If you need Bitcoin Cash replay protection, that's a spelling error, replay protection, please contact app@bitmaintech.com. Our Bitcoin Cash replay protection is from Coinbase transaction after the upgrade in November. So he's talking about this. Bitcoin Clashic. This is like a mashup.
Did you say Bitcoin Clashic?
Yeah. So it's classic and cash.
I've seen this for the first time, man.
Okay, yeah. So this is this is Bitcoin Cash Classic, and they mashed the words classic and cash together, and they came up with Clashic. So,
This is awesome. Bitcoin Cash Plus is coming. Man, guys have no freaking idea what they started, right? Like now that their coin is actually surviving, like people are gonna play with this thing. This is like, you know what this reminds me of? How all the Dash people got upset at Pivx.
I haven't been paying attention, so I don't know that reference. But there is this website that kind of tells you what where the split is. So I think they actually forked. There's a different block hash right here. This is bch.btcforkmonitor.info, and this tells you sort of the fork, the fork status on Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin ABC 0.15, which is sort of the previous version before the hard fork, and then Bitcoin Cash 0.16 with DAA fork is over here on the right.
And there's no replay protection.
Yeah, there's no replay protection whatsoever.
So, this is an awesome experiment. So we get to see how people get to lose some of their Bcash, right?
Yeah,
if they're not careful.
So I'm really wondering if exchanges are going to list this thing. If you have Bitcoin Cash on an exchange, they have to give you your Bitcoin Clashic. Like what's going to happen?
No, it's hilarious. So the moment Coinbase actually finally splits it, they're gonna have to split again, and he can hit them again, right?
Probably. They
have to split.
They need to split Bitcoin Cash into Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Classic. They have to split Bitcoin into Bitcoin Gold, and maybe even Bitcoin 2x.
Hey guys, if Bitcoin Classic is actually actually has a price and actually becomes a viable coin, can someone please fork both of them before Coinbase redeems all of them?
Let's put up a huge legal headache for Bitcoin Classic, Coinbase and all the exchanges, right? Oh my gosh, this is like externalized costs to up the wazoo here. Like everyone has to deal with this crap. Anyone that if you haven't distributed your Bitcoin Cash yet, well, now you have to distribute both because now you have your free.
I love it. But no, I'm pissed, dude. Now I can't get any Classic because I already sold my shit. Maybe the trolls were right. Maybe I shouldn't have sold it because watch, that thing can actually turn into a viable coin.
I know, right? This is like, this reminds me of Ethereum Classic in the sense, or Ethereum. Is it Ethereum Classic? It's Ethereum Classic. Yeah, it had a lot of support from actually the Bitcoin community because it was sort of like a way to hate on Ethereum kind of. And I have the same feeling that Clashic will have the same effect on Bitcoin Cash. It's for all the people that didn't like the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. Well, they get to sort of beat it over the head with Bitcoin Clashic. Man, that's a hard thing to pronounce. Anyway, as a result of that, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin Cash. And it's kind of gone down quite a bit, actually. It's at 0.17. And I know Tone doesn't like to do technical analysis on Bitcoin Cash, but it hit a 9 over here, and it's starting the 13 count and stuff on the downtrend. So it's still got a ways to go, I think. I think I counted 7 or 8. So, but yeah, it's clearly responding. There are miners that are mining even more.
What time frame are you on?
1 hour. This is the 1 hour, and
1 hour. Hold on.
So the 9 count starts here, and you can.
Wait. I'll just send you the link. Just click on it.
All right, you have a link. All right, here it is. All right, so this is the daily.
It's the daily. It's a little bit delayed. I flipped it. Oh, you know what? Refresh.
Uh-huh. All right, there it is. Yeah. There's your 9, and then there was a 13 there, and it started a new. Yeah, so
you're on a 7. I mean,
another couple hours, and then it might reverse.
Yeah. So here's what you do, right? If you zoom out a little bit more, double click on it so you drop the bottom 2 pans.
Double click in
the middle.
I am double clicking. It's not doing it. All right.
Oh, because it's on me. Shoot. All right. Hold on. Oh, wait. Hold on a second here. Let me do this. Refresh again.
This is kind of wow. I never used TradingView quite like this. Okay.
Oh man, it's still there. All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So here's what you. Oh, you can't draw on it either. Damn it.
No.
I guess I get.
Well, you could share your screen.
I guess I have to share my screen. Let me do that real quick, right? So this is technical analysis 101 for Jimmy.
I get to learn during my
right. So all I'm gonna do, right, is I'm gonna get a straight line, and I'm basically gonna draw a straight line connecting this top here with like the bottom of these candles. Like I'm trying to find the best fit line between what was a high at one point that broke the high. And now all I do is extend this line, right? Now this line can actually be kind of thick because what I can do is I can actually just draw a rectangle a little bit higher and a little bit lower. And
this is your region here, huh?
Yeah. So if I do this and then, oh, nope, can't do that. And then I extend it, right? Like you try to find like the best fit area, right? So this is the area. So so you have this point of that you can't predict. At some point, things reverse. Then once they break that point, they tend to break out. Then once they come back to that point, they tend to bounce off of it. But if they can't go to new highs, they eventually come back to that same point, and that same point no longer has the same strength to bounce it back up. That's why when it bounces off of this area here, you want it to go to new all-time highs and beyond. You don't really want it to come back.
Yeah, it looks like a descending triangle, actually.
It's exactly a descending triangle, right? So now you would make your descending triangle. Now, these things don't always have to work, but now you can make your descending triangle. Like I'll even give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to go all the way up, right? And you can make this descending triangle something like this. And now you're waiting for it to break. Something like that, yeah. And when it breaks, I mean, the target is probably in the negative range because it went up so far, right? So realistically, it can't even go down as much as it went up. So we went from 0.16 all the way to 0.36. So we went up over 0.2, but the current price is 0.16. So we can't exactly go down 0.2, right? Though then again, it could go all into B Clashic. So,
oh man.
So yeah, this is not what you want to see. I mean, if you want a sustainable uptrend, you really wanted this point to bounce and keep going up. So so look, we'll see what happens. I don't really care. I don't own any Bcash.
Yeah, okay. All right. So that's very interesting. All right. So another story I wanted to point out, let me share my screen here, is this little lovely thing from Starbucks BG Node Stratum Pool. This is the pool software. Oh wait, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? This is the pool software for Bitcoin Gold, and apparently they had this lovely little piece of code that basically gave a dev support fee to the pool of 0.5 Bitcoin Gold every mining reward that they got, which was kind of scummy. They didn't really expose it to anybody. They got shamed into merging it, so now they don't keep that 0.5 Bitcoin Gold. But I thought it was interesting that they were doing that. Bitcoin.
Hey, can we talk about B Gold for a minute, because I still have. I mean, I consolidated my Bitcoin in order to pull the B Gold and pull the 2x coins. So I got scammed by the 2xers because they didn't give me my 2x coins.
You might still get it. You might still get it. It's there's still time, right? Like I think Friday, it might even be Saturday at this point because the blocks are coming in so slow on Bitcoin.
Yeah, but nobody cares anymore.
I mean, you're still gonna have it's worth something. Yeah.
Well, the same, right? So okay, so what do I do with my? I mean, like, is there? Here's the question, right? Is there an Electron style wallet where I can paste in my private keys, because I have my private keys, right? I'm not dependent on anyone else to split them. So I have my own private keys. Where can I send those? Why are we doing it live? Why the hell am I telling our audience how to sell all their B-Gold before I do? Okay, let's stop. Stop.
It's right here. It's right here. Here are the exchanges. Here are the wallets.
We're gonna talk about it after the show.
Well, I haven't audited any of these, so I don't recommend any of these yet. But once I take a look at it, maybe we can take a look and say, all right, none of these wallets don't have obvious malware or something like that. But I would be very, very careful at this point. But I do want to point out that Bitcoin Gold has been going down in price significantly. It is at $161. Even a couple days ago, it was trading in the 300s. So
yeah, I know. Can someone pump it? I haven't even split mine yet. I want to sell it like at least $300.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we want, but that's not happening. All right, but yeah, I mean we could talk about it a little more, but I do want to like remind people of what happened. Like about a month ago, this was a guy that I knew that reached out to me to accidentally pay 50 Bitcoins in fees. That's
right. I just spoke to him the other day, actually.
Yeah, he still. I haven't heard anything from the one hash people. It seems like they're ignoring me. I've emailed like 2 or 3 different people. All of them just like haven't even responded to my emails. I want to kind of shame them into at least responding and saying, sorry, we sold our coins, and then maybe get like a pledge drive going so this guy can get some money back or something. But yeah, I mean, I kind of see that as very cowardly. You know, one hash should at least say something, right? Like they should say, sorry, we already spent that money on infrastructure.
Yeah, no, I agree. They should say something.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's not a great way to do business. If you're mining on one hash or anything like that, I don't think I would do business with a company that doesn't even respond. But you know, it is what it is. Hopefully they get their money back. Anyway, Tone, what do you think of this story? What do you think?
I mean, I don't like the fact that they haven't said anything. I mean, do we know about? I mean, okay, so here's the thing, right? Is one hash? I mean, are they like Jihan and Chandler Gao and Wayne Chung? I mean, do they speak, or are they just silent, right? Are they a member of the community, or are they just, some Chinese operation that barely speaks English? Like, can we start there?
Yeah, I think they're a Chinese operation that barely speaks English.
Right.
I don't know. I did get some context through some people I knew, and they were like, here's an introduction. They never responded to the introduction. So it's like, what's going on? I don't think they're interested in any sort of resolution here. It sounds like I mean, they have like they have a website and everything, and it seems to be operating. So I presume somebody is there at the helm, and there is a WeChat. I don't know how to get on. I don't have WeChat. Maybe I should get on there just so I can ask them about this stuff. But
yeah, WeChat's a pretty cool app. I use it.
Okay, all right. So their website onehash.com has a WeChat thing way at the bottom. So I might try that and see if we can reach out to those guys and just be like, hey, can you at least respond to this guy? It's so like, even if it's just to say we spent the 50 Bitcoins and gave it to a miner.
Also, the good thing about the WeChat app is that it does have an internal Chinese to English translator.
Oh, that would be nice.
So if they reply to you in Chinese, you can just hit the translate button.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So I'll try that. I really feel bad for this guy. Obviously, he didn't I fault blockchain.info. Shame on you too. For having a terrible user interface that allowed him to send a 50 Bitcoin fee. Blockchain.info is like the worst Bitcoin wallet. I've been saying this for like 3 years. Well, I mean, I can't believe that they made such a terrible UI mistake. And honestly, like, yeah, they should be ashamed of themselves and should at least say something. But anyway, that's where we are. Do you want to talk about price a little bit, Tone, or are we going to wait for your show, which I think I'll be on?
I mean, I'll talk about the technicals. Oh wow, we're already above 72. I mean, I'll share a screen, but I'll talk about the specifics on my show. Just a general overview. I mean, look, guys. Here's the deal, right? I was able to call the 75 exit, right? So I was looking for a $2,500 correction, and we only got a $2,100 correction, right? Now, I mean, I came close. I thought that we would go lower with all the FUD and, you know, the spammed mempool and Bitcoin price just getting a little out of hand. So I did not time the buying of the dip correctly, but that's still okay because there's nothing wrong with buying the breakout, right? I mean, you don't always get to buy the perfect dip. I mean, I was able to call the perfect dip at 3, and I was able to call the perfect dip here at 1900, but I missed the perfect dip by a few $100, and I thought we were still able to make it there. Now, the reality of the situation is that market bottomed the way it's supposed to bottom, where you only had a few hours to get in. Like it doesn't give you like 100 chances. Just like it exited, like you had the proper exit, and then you had a micro exit where you only had 10 minutes to get the top. So at this point, the thing is, like, as a trader, again, you want to protect your you want to be on the cautious side, right? So if you are trading, like, to me, this has gone up too far too fast, right? I mean, we just went from 5,400 to up to almost like we just went up $2,000 in, like, 3 days, basically, in 3 days. Because you get 3 candles here, this candle just started, and this candle was halfway in, right, when it reversed. So what I would like to see is a safe trade. So I would hope that this reversal was similar to this reversal right here on 1018, and then the price kind of gets stuck at the prior all-time high, and then you buy the breakout. So I would not be in a rush here. I mean, you can take a stab at it, but because we can reverse here any minute and go back down, and it would be the norm of a bull trap. So you're still in the bull trap category. Now, there is a chance that you would be totally wrong, and we're at $10,000 in 3 days. And that's when you just say, you know what, it got me. It got me, right? But what I look for, after properly calling the top like I did here, I look for a perfect buy the dip. If the perfect buy the dip doesn't come, what I want to do is buy the breakout, like this candle here, when we kind of got stuck for a couple of days and then had this monster breakout above the prior high. Like here, we reversed a little too early, and then we got stuck at the prior highs and then broke out. So that's the breakout I would want to buy. When you have these giant candles, yes, it can lead to new all-time highs, but I want a safer entry. So I would want to see either a pullback to buy a higher low and say, hey, you know what? I missed it. It got me. Or I want to see just a slowdown and then time buying of the breakout above 7,500. Does that make sense?
I think so. I'm still learning technicals. You're obviously teaching me very well. So yeah, it's good stuff. I want to thank the 855 56 live viewers. Please give me a thumbs up, share, and let people know about this video if you enjoyed this. I'm still gonna try this every day. Hopefully, I can figure out how to do this dual cast stuff. Tone, anything that you want to mention before we sign out?
No, that's it. I actually want to eat my food that I put on this table the moment I sat down and went live. There you go. I also forgot to bring down a fork, so there was no way I was actually going to be able to eat it while on the podcast and still be able to do it. So that's what I'm going to do for the next 30 minutes, and then I'm going to go live on my podcast with some pricing details.
All right. Well, anyway, this song is done.